economy? Because this economy is going pretty well. We have to, what? Why is that funny?
It is going well for now.
For now, right. That's my, thank you. That's my question. Is, like, I feel like the bottom has to fall out at some point. And by the way, I'm hoping for it, because I think one way you get rid of Trump is a crashing economy. Yeah. So please, bring on the recession. Yeah. Sorry if that hurts people, but it's either root for a recession or you lose your democracy.
Trump is doing everything you could possibly do to screw up the good economy. It's like, everything's going great.
Yes.
And this is the great thing. You watch Trump's rhetoric. He stands up there and says, lowest unemployment ever, African Americans doing great, we're all doing fantastic, best ever. But also, we're a disaster, we got to change everything. Right. America's getting robbed blind by the foreigners. It's like, what?
Bill, you must be suffering from PTSD, post-Trump syndrome disorder. Did you really want Trump economy to crash? It is obvious that you don't care about this coon and all my fellow Americans. You are fully pathetic. Bill Maher, a so-called political analyst and a comedian. Not a real analyst and a comedian, but a so-called analyst and a comedian. You know what? I will give you a little credit. You are a comedian because you made me laugh so hard that my side started to hurt because everything you said has been a joke. I can't understand why so many people give you so much credit for, quote-unquote, slamming the woke. Newsflash, Bill Maher is not a sage because he pointed out things like a man can't get pregnant and biological men should not be allowed to play women's sports. And even with these issues, you were still behind the curve. You literally get everything wrong. How can you go 4 years thinking that the January 6ers murdered a Capitol policeman when even garbage, CNN, reported that Officer Sicknick died of natural causes? I am so glad Megyn Kelly called you out, like many have in the past several years. Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, Tulsi Gabbard, just to name a few. That being said, a real man to a so-called man, I'm going to give you some man support. Real men don't get triggered because former President Trump said the election was stolen and he tried to overturn the election results through the courts. Bill, what Trump did was not a crime. It's called being an American. My dude, are you stupid, vindictive, or both? Because you didn't have that same energy when Hillary Clinton called Trump a, quote-unquote, an illegitimate president for 4+ years straight. As a matter of fact, you didn't even know that she went on tour to deny the 2016 election for at least 4 years. So, are you stupid? Trump did sue you years ago for calling him an orangutan. I have to admit, Trump was petty for that. So, are you vindictive? Despite all that, what is not petty is you in the real time with Bill Maher staff can't even do simple Google searches. So, are you stupid?
You can sit there and say, I am a liberal still, but if everyone that you vote for, meaning Democrats, right? The guy has never voted for a Republican. He'll tell you he hates critical race theory, but although he doesn't live in Virginia, did he publicly support Glenn Youngkin? He'll tell you that Florida is doing everything right, but he makes a point of always saying, but I'm not going to move to Florida, and he won't say that he's going to support Ron DeSantis. So this is the disconnect that the last liberals had. So if you think I'm making it up, that conservatives generally have been warning about these things and usually right about these things. You may remember this clip on Bill Maher's very show 2 years ago when Dennis Prager went on to say, in essence, that soon the left will be saying, or they're saying it already, but it's really coming, that men will be able to menstruate. Here we go.
The left wing is infinitely larger than one person. I don't choose one left-wing person who tells a lie. The left wing says, I'll give you gigantic lies, that the United States is a racist country. This is a lie. This is a gargantuan lie. This is the least racist, multicultural, multi-ethnic country in the history of the world. That these people believe it is proof to me about how effective lying can be. This is an unbelievably non-racist country. Have you people been to Asia? Say it is racist is a lie. These are giant left-wing lies.
We're talking about degrees.
To say that men can menstruate is a lie, and that is what is said.
Wait, where did that
You've never heard it, right? Okay. Check it out, folks. Check it out. Anyone who says a man cannot menstruate is considered transphobic.
I missed this whole story.
You did? I did.
Tell me where
Google
you're getting this.
Just Google it. Can men menstruate?
Who is saying this? You're talking about a very small percentage.
Oh, really?
Prager was warning about all of this stuff. And of course, when he says that the country is the least racist country ever, Bill says, well, there's some racism. But of course, it's just a meaningless position. It is a meaningless position to say there is some racism in America. There is some racism everywhere. And Dennis's response, have you gone to Asia? I mean, guys, you should do a little Googling, if you like to Google, or whatever search engine you use, about the racist attitudes Asian people have about other Asian people from country to country. It's rather extraordinary.
I definitely think the right wing is much more dangerous. They don't believe in democracy anymore, and they threw their lot in with a sociopath named Donald Trump. So, no, he's not.
No, I just okay.
I
want to talk about your feelings on Trump.
Yeah, well, there you go. And I understand that Biden is deeply flawed, but he does believe in our way of life. And, I was the one who was saying from the very beginning, when everyone was laughing at me, that Donald Trump will never give up power. And he didn't. He still hasn't conceded the last election. I don't know what could possibly be more fundamental to you or anyone than you have to concede elections. And he hasn't conceded the last one. He's plainly not going to concede this one.
I'm not going to defend the election denialism. I'm not one of those people who believes that.
But what's more important? What kind of country do we have?
How about my daughter not going into a locker room and seeing a man's penis?
That's important too, and
How about young men on college campuses getting due process when they get accused falsely of rape?
Well, I think that's a false equivalency. I think and that's more important than what I was bringing up about not abiding by election results, not respecting what always made this country great, the peaceful transference of power.
I don't disagree with you on that. You're not going to get me to say it was a great thing the way Trump behaved.
I don't have to get you to agree or disagree.
The reason not to vote for Joe Biden is his policies. You're not woke. He's as woke, or at least his policies are, as they come. The open border bill? How could anybody vote for somebody who keeps this border open with the number of rapes and the number of murders and the numbers of crimes going on with these immigrants?
But again, these are the normal sorts of issues we've always had in this country that should be taken care of through the normal process we've had. You're talking about the difference between I'm talking about the difference between this and something fundamental, which is our democracy. The fact that you have to respect who wins an election, or else you don't have the kind of country we've always had before.
Hillary Clinton, of course, is the original election denier. I'm sure you voted for her in 2016.
Well, she's not an election denier.
She absolutely was the OG election denier.
First of all, she came out before the sun had risen to concede the election to Trump.
And then spent the next 4 years saying he was illegitimate. He was an illegitimate president.
Okay, well, first of all, she didn't say he was an illegitimate.
Yes, she did.
You tell me exactly what she said.
She said those exact words repeatedly.
Okay, she conceded the election. Whether you're interpreting her disappointment at losing it as the same thing as Trump not conceding it, I don't know if that's where you're getting it from. But again, it's a tremendous false equivalency.
Don't try to tell me that Hillary Clinton wasn't an election denier, and Jamie Raskin, and a whole host of Democrats who are now in prominent positions on Capitol Hill. Doesn't make it great what Trump did, but they don't have clean hands either. But you bypass the immigration question. I mean, that.
I'm not
a lot
bypassing
of
it. I think it's a disaster.
How would you put this guy back in there for 4 more years to leave the doors open?
And it was so much better under Trump?
Yes, it was better under Trump. Are you kidding me?
It was somewhat better.
Oh, Bill.
It was somewhat better.
Go look up the immigration rates.
Yeah, I know.
Illegal immigration rates.
I agree.
For 2020, for 19 to 20.
I'm not defending Biden on immigration. I don't understand why it's so difficult in this country to stop people coming through the border. I don't. And I watched that 60 Minutes piece they did on it a couple of months ago, and they had films of people coming through this hole and the Border Patrol just watching them and basically waving.